Now, something we're talking about with RIZIN, the action started hours before the betting did, which is something that is common with this. The first few bouts, some catchweight scraps and some promotional oddities, though they weren't listed on most books, and I understand that because a lot of them weren't traditional MMA bouts, but there was one, Raki Endo, had a unanimous decision over Botting Zaxi, butchering both those names. I apologize, but it was a decent little featherweight scrap that served as like the technical MMA opener on the card. But again, unless you were sitting in a Sapporo Azakaya or had a backroom app or were betting on a napkin with some friends, you didn't get action on this fight. And that's a problem because RIZIN isn't like a niche local show anymore. You know, with RIZIN TV, their cards now are airing globally, and they have a very much growing offshore audience that wants to bet on these fights. And having fights drop off the board entirely, or in what was happening to me, which I think is worse, is like are listed at a certain time but just vanish off the board, either before the walkouts or at like they come off the board hours before the fights take place. You want to be able to bet these fights as they're happening at the very least, so that they come off the board at the correct times. And not being able to do that really kneecaps the kind of engagement that this promotion would really benefit from and thrive on internationally. It's not even just a tech issue, like it's structural. If RIZIN wants to be more than just Japan's weird MMA cousin on the international fight calendar, right? They need to push for some kind of offshore facing sportsbook deal, even just not obviously not to show it, but just so that the odds for the fights are happening at the right time, etc. And something, anything really. And like Sakabara is in charge. We don't have to worry about Takada, running some, throwing fights or fixing fights and having some betting fixing scandal in a Speedo or anything like that anymore. We can take this product seriously, and I think it's time to do that, at least from a betting perspective.